The best salespeople I know help their clients by helping them understand the status quo is not good enough, challenge their current thinking, and then try to help them see things differently. A lot of what I'm seeing online right now from the quote-unquote sales gurus that are out there involves helping salespeople script things out and make their clients jump through huge mental gymnastics to figure out how not to buy from them. It is really, really challenging to watch as people look at how do I script my language so that I'm going to block all the exits, so the only answer you're going to give me is a yes. And that is so wrong and so not customer centric and so not client friendly. And it so builds up such a challenge with buyer remorse. You blocked all my exits. Now I think I can only say yes. And 3 days later, I feel terrible about it as your customer. These are the things I'm seeing online with lots and lots of quote unquote sales gurus trying to help salespeople figure out how to block all the exits. It's a terrible experience as a customer, and I want to think differently in terms of what sales looks like. So salespeople, sales professionals are the ones who seek to learn, seek to understand the why nots. Why wouldn't you come work with us? What is it? Is it price? Is it how things work? Is there something incumbent that's happening already? But not trying to walk me through an if then else scenario so that I feel like I'm backed into a corner, and either I will be so frustrated that I'll give you zero information, or if I do come and become a customer, you're not helping me, you're helping yourself. And so this is the stuff that I want, people in the sales business to understand around customer centricity. And a lot of sales professionals are already here. So let's not judge anybody, unfairly. But ultimately, how do we make sure that, sales professionals are looking at the problems the customer has and not how to get them to buy? That's a very different conversation. Like, if I can help you understand the problems that you have, give you my perspective on those problems, help you define what success looks like on the other side of those problems. And if you choose not to work with me after all of that, that's based upon a decision you've made outside the scope of my value, right? Whether that's a pricing issue, my product isn't right, whatever those things are. Those are a million things that the sales rep, the sales professional has to go out and find out. That's information you want to get as a sales professional. But trying to figure out what script will get me to an outcome for me as the salesperson to close a deal versus sitting beside you as my client and helping you define what success looks like. And that hopefully more than 75% of the time, I'm the solution that you'll go with. But if you don't go with me as a solution, it's because we've mutually understood that that's not the way it should be. And so then it becomes, how does that fit for most sales professionals and what they're approaching the problem with? And I want to be very specific. If you are trying to cold call someone out of the blue, there's a lot of ways that you have to quote unquote trick them into staying on the line with you because they don't want to be there. Let's be very frank and clear. They don't want to be there. You cold called them out of the blue, and now you're expecting some level of outcome. So their first inclination and their first decision is to get the heck out of there. And so you're trying to stick them to something that they don't want to be stuck to. So that's very, very impactful. And this is why I go back to this concept of demand generation. Wouldn't it be better if they liked what you do, if they know who you are, if they understand what you provide, and they come prepared to have a conversation about that? And there's a million different industries for whom that's not the reality. They're just going to go poke the wall until they find a soft spot. It's a terrible outcome for the customer, generally speaking, even if the customer needs what you're selling. That's a very incongruous way of looking at how you sell. So again, go back to the idea of what is the sales process that we want to go through that is a win for both us as a business and for the customer. How do we help them? How do we support them? How do we give them value? Not how do we trick them into some level of scripting scenario that gets them to stay on the call long enough so we can do something else. That's a very poor play from a customer perspective. So salespeople, sales professionals, think differently about that. And if your managers are telling you, follow the script, read the script, understand the script, and then think about the customer. Is this for you or is this for them? If it's not for them, gosh, that's a tough place to be. Anyway, no Ruby. Just had abdominal surgery, so can't walk. I can talk, obviously. But soon, hopefully, I'll be back walking and talking with Ruby.